Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Babble with Bronies. I am your host, Everlasting Joy. Got it. Actually, it's one of the most quiet weeks we've had in a long time here, and personally, I'm actually kind of liking that. Anyway, shall we get started? Y'all can see and hear me, correct? I'll take those as a yes. Good, 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 good. All right, let's start off with some good old announcements and whatnot. First of all, I want to start with the biggest announcement on our side of the table. I don't know if I told you guys this, but Babble with Bronies is its own independent entity who operates here on Brony State. You know, we're just broadcasting, basically. As such, Babble with Bronies is still its own independent entity. So, why am I telling you this? Because we here at Babble with Bronies wish to give a big announcement. We recently added a member, goes by the name of Twilight is Magic here on the stream, or the chat, I should say. So, we welcome Twilight is Magic as a full and as a honorary member of Babble with Bronies. Unfortunately, I can't give him moderator privileges here on Brony State, but it's understandable. We talked about that. Treat him with more respect than you give me. That is to say, no respect on my behalf, but that's why I always say more than me. Anyway, he has full powers on our website, just like Mr. Ben and me, so again, we welcome Twilight is Magic. Speaking of Babble with Bronies, however, there's going to be, I forgot to tell you guys this last week, and I apologize for that. Next Sunday and the Sunday after that, we will not be broadcasting because of some personal things with me. I can for sure say the 17th, no broadcasting at all, because I'll be traveling that day. However, the 10th, I'm also going to say is not because of the same reason. However, I am thinking of trying being the key word here, sometime next week of getting in a like a midweek episode of some sort. I haven't discussed it yet with anyone, but we'll think of something, and I'll try and get something set up with you guys. I know. I promise you, though, that after this, things will stabilize for a good time. So don't worry too much. 24th, we are looking at another interview. Some people I've been wanting to get to for a very long time. And one last thing. As everyone knows, the 31st of March is the last Sunday in March. And of course, what comes after the 31st but the 1st of April, which happens to be April Fool's Day. I've been having this idea for a joke that we could do here on Babble with Bronies for an April Fool's Day joke, because it is one of my favorite holidays. Thank you, Internet. And of course, you're thinking, what am I going to do? Show a G3 episode? Nope. I had this little idea ever since the first Discord's domain interview. So this was back in November, folks. But I wanted to get you guys involved in the thing. Actually, that was... Oh, wait, no, never mind. One of the things that I was thinking of doing was... it crossed my mind. Mr. Ben and I love Doctor Who. So if you can tell where I'm going with this, you're correct. I was thinking we'd show a Doctor Who episode and give it the same treatment we do here, you know, with the other episodes. We review them and whatnot. But of course, which episode? Well, I thought I'd leave that to you guys. That's why I'm announcing it. On the Babble with Bronies website, I'll see what I can do about getting it to you guys. Here, I'll bring it up. One, Done. Here on the over here on the updates, where it says update, I'll be posting a poll, a link to a poll where you can vote for your episodes, similar to what you guys do when you get the newsletter. So here is the website for you guys, by the way, if you want to favorite it or something. We, of course, what am I thinking? We post our updates on there, as you can tell. So if you want to get the insight on episode updates and what we're talking about before the newsletter gets handed out, there you go. But okay, that plug aside. As I said, I'll be posting a link to a poll on the updates section for, I'll get it up eventually. I'll get it posted on there. It'll run from whenever I get it up, which will be sometime at the latest next Sunday, the latest. From that Sunday until that Saturday, that Saturday, the 23rd of March, wherein I'll announce the winner on the 24th when we resume broadcasting. So I just have a few things I will note. It's only going to be the new season, or series, I should say. It is a British show. So it'll be 2005 and beyond, and it'll be anything on Netflix. So, that's the only place I can get it, so you'll have to forgive me for that. And it cannot be a two-parter. I would love to have it a two-parter. There are a lot of good two-parter episodes I would love to talk about. Problem is of course, each episode is an hour, and we run for 2 hours. So how am I supposed to show content plus the show without going way over time? So, sorry folks, that is where I do have to draw the lines. But I'll get you the link. I'll probably try and see if I can do a drop-down menu like they do in the newsletter survey, and we'll take it from there. But hey, I thought it would be an Enoch take on an April Fool's Day joke, and sounds like a lot of you guys are all over it. So glad it's a hit. I'll probably show reduced content, Mr. Ben, like interview amount content. I will keep it a little bit smaller so that we can allow for that extra time. But like I said, we'll get there when we get there. I'll iron things out a little bit later. Anyway, let's move on because I spent more time than I care to about this. Oh, why don't we do this? Okay. As everyone knows of the whole Unicon fiasco that's happened, I know it's been quite a while, so color me pink and call me Slowpoke. But before I go on to that, Candiru, to be fair, I did want to keep it a surprise. But, like I said, for me to pick the episode, you guys would probably complain or something. So I thought, why not have it where everyone has a chance to vote on it? So, how can I surprise you? Surprise! We're watching a Doctor Who episode picked by me. Anyway, carrying on. Slow, bro. Going back to that Unicon fiasco, there's, of course, two articles I want to bring up concerning it. First one I will say is Death Pony, good friend of ours. He's holding an auction. Now, this one, I'll admit, I don't know if it's... Mr. Ben. Anyway, he's auctioning off this Pinkie Pie figure of his. There's a link to the link to the auction in here. He's saying for $30 at minimum. but I know it's surpassed that. Last I checked, it was at $42. Now, I don't know if it's ended. What he told me was he was supposed to end it Saturday night. I assume his time. But I talked to him about that, and I told him that, you know, this show airs on Sundays now. I don't think he was aware of it at the time. Here's a link to the auction. As far as I know, you put it in, and you just post it in here. Let's see what it's up to currently. Last I checked, it was at $42, but that was really early in the day. 45, 50, 55, 65 I'm seeing. 72, 75. It's locked, so I guess it looks like the ending bid is $90. That's very unfortunate. I was hoping you guys could get in on it. Oh well. So, as I was saying, I wanted to bring that to your guys' attention, thinking it was still on. But that's very unfortunate. However, on something that isn't closed, or at least to the best of my knowledge, again, the Brony documentary, you know, the John Delancey one, they're selling autographed copies of their they're selling autographed copies. Let me bring this up a little bit closer. There are three what is it, the word I'm looking for? Three versions of the full documentary. There's the main stuff, you know, the one that you can get in the digital download, and the version you'll get in the digital download, the one that they would show and sell in stores, that fun jazz. There's the extended interviews one, which I don't think they're going to show in the stores and whatnot. These are on DVD and Blu-ray is what I'm referring to. And then there's a third one, which it escapes my mind as to what it is. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that main content one, the first one I said, there's the link for y'all. You can order an autographed one signed by Ms. Faust, Mr. Delancey, and if I recall right, I think it says it's some there. They have been signed by Lauren, Tara, and John, packaged with a disc and shrink wrapped. Anyway, $100 each for those three plus the signatures. They are selling 50 autographed copies for $100 each. So they're trying to raise $5,000 for the Las Pegasus Relief League. Okay, yeah, Alchemist, I wouldn't be shocked that they would be sold out by now. Again, paint me pink and call me slowpoke. That a lot of the news doesn't reach me. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me that they're sold out. And you know, $100, that was $100. That's not a bad deal for 3 signatures of this caliber. Anyway, check in on it. It might check in on it and see if you can still get your hands on one if you're 5,000, not 500,000, Sumika. Anyway, carrying on. Speaking of Ms. Faust, I'm sure all y'all have heard of what happened to the main 6 group. This is just something I wanted to report on because I'm hoping to get to these guys one day. The main 6 development team, the guys behind Fighting is Magic, added Ms. Faust to their roster of employees, I guess, if you want to. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that they've added Ms. Faust, and it looks like something similar to what was the original Fighting is Magic is still going on. What they mean by original characters, I don't know. Does that mean pony characters or some other species? Only time will tell at this point. But what I will say is it's just something I wanted to note. There are more details on the main sixes page. There's a link to it with that link to the update about it. So if you want to read more about that, knock yourself out. I'm not going to. And in Brony State news, about the only thing I have to report on is, of course, the weekly movies. Yeah, Twilight is magic. You're hitting the nail on the head. It's regardless of how it's changed, it's still fighting is magic at heart, and yeah, we'll play it accordingly. That sums it up right there. Anyway, as I was saying, in Brony State news, actually, that's a good idea, Alchemist. Though I'm guessing that it's going to fall under, she's then just pimping out her franchise, which would be a little off, given, it was originally ponies. Anyway, and a salty dinner. You'll forgive me, folks. In Brony State news, we have the the usual movie list for this week. A movie is 3:10 to Yuma. The first pony episode is Ghostbusters. The B movie is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, and Pony 2 is Dragonshy. So I'm surprised Dragonshy took that long. Such a good episode. Oh well. All right. Video or art first, folks? Actually, there's a game I'm going to show first, but I'll ask it anyway. Art or videos first? That's 2 for art, 1 for video, 3 for art. Okay, Twilight's Magic, now you're just screwing with me. Looks like art's the winner, folks. But like I said, before we get to art, there is a game I want to show. Sometimes we do get games on here, so as you all are aware of, I should say. Anyway, it's by, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct, Footsie 101, Sweetie Bot's Pixel Trip. Now you probably, if you hung around Discord's domain at all this week, you probably saw this one. Really fun game. I can't get enough of this game. It's simple to play, but it's really hard. You hit up or down to move from place to place. And that's how it's played. Yeah, sometimes you think up, up, and then you fly off on the screen. It's like, no, damn it. Oh well, but fun game. I can't get enough of it. All right, you guys wanted art first? I'll give you art. Let's start off with this one. First one's by our good friend Vifex. We got both the video and this by him. This one's just more of a advertisement on his behalf, but I kind of liked it, so I thought I'd show it. Any of you guys play Second Life, that game? He plays it, and really got to hide myself. I apologize. Not when I'm showing art or videos. Anyway, if you play Second Life, he created his pony in the game. Again, slow bro. Apparently Second Life allows ponies, or has a pony model. You can even see his Pegasus wings here. So if you play Second Life, look for this character and tell him I sent you. There's a link. Character's name is Skybrush, by the way. Again, if you see him, tell him I say hi. Only one artist this week has anything more than one piece to it, folks, so it's really quite an accomplishment this week. I think we'll go with this one. This next one is by BwB, who we had on last week, titled Bench. Is that Muffinshire I see in here? Anyway, this is Bench by BwB. Check this out, folks. Yeah, there we go. City in the background here. And of course, we have Lyra sitting, normally I will point out, on the bench. So it begs the question, did Lyra stumble into our world? Is our world just beyond theirs, like, beyond the Everfree Forest? Or what? But I don't care. This is a really cool pic. It's so surreal, and it adds a nice little focal point in those buildings. Really nice. I sent it good. Now which one? Okay, I'll show these two. These next two are by Pixel Kitties. First one's just a t-shirt design. This one titled St. Patty's Day Shirt from We Love Fine. There's a link. First one says, hug me, I'm Irish-ish. I made a comment about that shirt with Lyra. I said, so does that make her Lyrish? I'll just let that one sink in. Architect. Well, I thought it was funny. Okay, moving on. Alright. This next one is by our good friend Muffinshire. Yes, you've probably seen this one. Twilight's First Day, number 6. Ah. Wow, you're really getting good at that. I remember Mom taught me to practice my magic the same way. Used to be pretty good at this. Ta-da! Just like your cutie mark. Wow! Let me try that one. Sorry, folks. I just can't get that nasal going. I apologize for that. I'll stop it, stupid sexy CJ. Flatterer. Sweetie, you mustn't force it. You'll have an accident. I commented, well, look on the bright side, Shining Armor. At least now whenever you visit Cadence, you'll always have a flower for her. Or 2. Or 3. Anyway, there's the link. Keep up, Muffinshire. Keep this up. Not only just for the sake of me voice acting all of this, but hot dog is this series just adorable. Envy, yes I do, but I'm not going to show them. Not right now, anyway. Twice magic. Wait. What if she won? Would that make her the manliest pony in the world? I'm going to show it because this is... what a world. Anyway, let's move on, folks. Okay, let's go with this one. Scarlet Scribbles, The Call of Desponia. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Look at this, folks. This airbrush. I'm just going to kind of let this one speak for itself. Ugh. Anyway, I will say, enjoy it. This next one is by Harwick's Art, our good friend. I've shown him on here many times. Titled Que Sera Sera cover illustration. Yeah, I took some Spanish, so yes, I do know some of the inflections. Now the title, or the reasoning behind this is a cover for a fanfic of a friend of his. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to read the fanfic, but there is a link to the artist, or the writer, his DA page, and the story itself. So I will plug it and say check it out. Like I said, I didn't have a chance to read it, so if you don't read fanfic, of course you're not going to read it. But if you do read fanfic, check it out. I'll plug it. Anyway, again, this one I'm just going to kind of let speak for itself. It's Harwick's Art. Always a treat to have on here. Target 92. By the power of copyright infringement. All right. I didn't cover Pixel Kitty's second one. What a world. Anyway, the second one of Pixel Kitty's is titled Leaving Las Vegas. Done in the style of Limbo, the game. There is a little bit here I do wish to read. Yeah, it's a good thing that my notes are A, up, and B, that when I click on the link, they change colors so that I know where I have and have not been. Otherwise, just like Granny Smith, I'd forget my own hair if it wasn't attached to my head some days. I'm just going to kind of paraphrase here, folks. If you want to help, the best place to go is here. The LPU Relief League is currently overseeing a wide range of auctions, offering everything from art to games to autographs to a complete set of Interplay trading cards. Funds from these auctions will go to help folks in need of immediate financial assistance due to unforeseen convention expenses. There's just one problem, Mr. Ben. I'm not balding. Gray, but not balding. Anyway, I sent it. Okay. Again, you can like the piece. And let's go with another comic here. But which one? Okay, we'll go with this one. This one is from Colt Steel Stallion. Been a while since he's been on here. The good old days. Sad one incoming, folks. Hey, Twilight. I got the book you requested. Yeah, I know it's not a good spike. Thanks, Spike. I really needed that book. I don't get it. Do you even have time to read books? I mean, don't you have important princess stuff to do? I do have time to read this one. You mean something like this, Mr. Ben? I miss the old days. Let me guess, it was awful, Super Brony? I think that's what he was going for there, Mr. Ben. It's not an outlive... Well, shoot, Spike's still young for crying out loud. So, yeah, I think it's just... She's in Canterlot away from her friends in Ponyville. Anyway, let's wash that sadness away with something a little bit happier. Oh, which one? All right, let's go with this one by Nobin, Giggling at the Ghosties. I think I saw her in the audience, so I apologize that it took me this long to get to you. I typically like to get to I like to get to those in the audience first, since I know some of them want to get away, after they're done. So I apologize for that. Anyway, is Giggling at the Ghosties. Check it out. I really love the way you drew the ponies. It's unique. I love it when people take a slight take their take upon the pony form while still staying true to they stay as true to the form as they can, but it's like they add their own little touch. I don't hate that. As a matter of fact, I love that. And as I said in the comment on this, is Pinkie Pie bouncing around smiling? Does that ever get old? No, it doesn't. There is an in joke here, but I'll avoid it. Really like the trees on this one too. Get out of here, word. Anyway, I gave it, and yeah, I believe that's it. Very good job, Nobin. Apparently I did miss one with Vifex. Again. Titled, It's Good to Keep on Dreaming. We'll get to this in a minute when we start reviewing Season 3, but what I do have to say is... what I do have to say about this is something I hope, you hope, we all hope that will one day come true. And heck, it's just cute. I think it's just a cute picture. Dark 92. All right. I'm going to finish up with a comic at the end of the art. It's a Toxic Mario one. All right, let's get to this one. This one is by, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct, Huussie, Huussie. Huussie, titled Mirror Pond. Probably saw this one around if you art enthusiast. Check out this lighting and detail, folks. Bloom. Again, I'll just let this one speak for itself. All right, moving along. All right, we have 4 pieces left. I kind of go through them a little bit quicker here so we can get to this stuff. This next one's titled Equestria's Newest Princess by Gray Radian. Sorry, I got to keep it this one. We've had Gray Radian on here long before, and I never get tired of showing her work. It's always so bright, so colorful, so expertly crafted. I just can't get enough of showing your work, Gray Radian. And this one, in my humble opinion, folks, is nothing short of some of her best. I really love this one. I will ask this, folks. Save your Alicorn Twilight stuff for when we get to when we start talking about Season 3, please. Because we will get there. That's why I did this. Discuss the Season 3 stuff. But save it for now, and let's just focus on the good content here. Anyway, moving along here. This next one is by Vardis Touch. It's a commission titled Freestyle. Not, this is just a profile shot. That pony is named Freestyle. But like I told her in the comments section, even a simple profile shot is something sublime from her. If you haven't No, Freestyle is a snowboarding pony. Citra. Uh, she has a link to her DA page in the description. But if you have never seen Vardis Touch's stuff before, folks, check out her gallery. You won't be disappointed. Her cutie mark, I honestly can't tell. So you're probably going to have to ask the original creator. All right, moving along here. This last one. This last one is, of all things, by Amino. We've shown her work on here once before, after the move, I will say. So one thing that she does is cosplay. This is the first cosplay we've ever shown on this show, so I'm actually kind of really excited about it because it is really good. She did a Princess Cadence cosplay at a local, at some convention in Sweden, I think it is. But check this out. That is, without a doubt, folks, one of the best cosplays I have seen in a long time concerning ponies. No, Mr. Ben, because she did not, but she should. Vordox, I know. Moving along here. And last in the art is that comic I promised you from Tox titled Barnstorming. Hate it when your lunch tries to come back up. Anyway. Hey, Derpy. We're going to be raising the new barn this afternoon. Want to help? Sure, I'd be happy to help. Several hours later. Thank you, SpongeBob. Hey, Applejack, you're late. Who else but Derpy? I was going to comment raise our Romeo Alpha Zulu Echo raise this barn in the comments, but yeah, it was overdone. I like this one. It's just nothing short of cute. Alright, folks, videos now. I have two here by VFX, but I'm only going to show one because one's just an announcement. I'll show the one I'm going to show first. VFX featuring Daniel Pony, A Star's Echo. Vifex's A Star's Echo. And there we go. Alright, I'll get that other video of his out of the way here. I'll give you guys the link and you can use it from there. But basically, he was just thanking some people for some trouble he was going through. There's the link. Just thanking some people. There is a bit of a bonus song on there, but problem is like I said, I just don't want to go through the announcement itself. You can check it out. Have at it. Anyway. Oh, this one you're gonna love, guys. I just know you will. This next one is titled "Lullaby for a Ghetto Princess" by AlleyOopster27.
Been whack and order unkind. Oh, the fuck can I have busted you away? The blame was my own, the punishment yours, the harmony silent to dissolve. But the fuck into the stillness, I'd be about to bring you a song, and I will your company keep till your chillaxed eyes and my lullabies have carried you softly to tune. Once did a pony who has shone like the sun look up on her kingdom inside. Biatch smiled and hollered, surely there is no pony so ghetto fab and so well beloved as I. So pimped out her reign, so buck wild her glory, that long was the shadow her ass cast, which fell dark upon the little sister her ass loved, and grew only darker as days and nights passed. Lully moon visage, fat night sister mine, and rest now in moonlight's embrace. Bear up my lullaby, winds of the earth, through cloud and all up in sky and all up in space. Carry the peace and the darkness of night, and carry my sorrow up in kind. Luna, your love so much more than you know. Forgive my crazy ass for being so blind. Soon did that pony take notice that others did not give her sister her due, and neither had her ass loved her as her ass deserved. Biatch watched as her sister's unhappiness grew. But such is the way of the limelight, it sweetly takes hold of the mind of its host. And that foolish pony did not do a goddamn thing to stop the destruction of one who has needed her most. Lily moon visage, fat night sister mine, and rest now up in moonlight's embrace. Bear up my lullaby, winds of the earth, through cloud and all up in sky and all up in space. Carry the peace and the darkness of night, and carry my sorrow up in kind. Luna, you ask love so much more than you know. May shits be far from your mind. And forgive my crazy ass for being so blind. Dumb motherfucking years now before us, fearful and unknown. I never imagined I'd grill them on my own. May these thousand winters swiftly pass, I pray. I love you, I miss you, all these miles away. May all your dreams be sweet tonight, safe upon your bed of moonlight, and know not of sadness, pain, or care. And when I dream I be about to fly away and hook up you there, sleep. Sleep, sleep.
All right. Nope, forgot to. Sorry, I'll get you the link. The link. What was it I was going to say? Oh yeah, if you guys like what you saw there, check out what is it? Polyphonic Pony. Hope that's her name. Just search Lullaby for a Princess. And I would recommend the MemJ0123 cover of that song. If you want it, I can get it to you. Before that, I need to do something really quick. There was something I forgot, of course. Hate it when I do that. Anyway, let's finish up with the last of our songs here. Last one is by Carbon Maestro, Zebra Tribes, Pony Empires Complete. the link. Do I really need to say much more, folks? It's Carbon Maestro. His stuff is always wonderful to show on here. It really is. Okay. So, as promised, let's start talking about Season 3. Now, here's the thing. First of all, I do want to put myself up there since I am speaking. Here's the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to start off by going down each episode. We'll talk about, first we'll talk about the Crystal Empire, then we'll talk about Too Many Pinkie Pies, then so on and so forth. 2. I'm going to leave, I'm going to do it like a movie trailer. What do I mean by that? I mean, I'm going to give maybe 1 point about the episode. Like, for instance, what I liked about it, just simple point. But I'm not going to give an entire review like I do here, like with episode 19. By the way, if we don't get to episode 19 today, that's fine. We'll just pick it up the next time we get the chance. So, we're taking it all the way back to Babble with Brony's early days, folks, where this is all we did was just discuss the stuff. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I want to revive it when we get done with Season 1 for an episode or 2. Anyway, like I said, I'm only going to talk maybe 1 point or 2 about the episode. There are holes that I will be leaving, like a movie trailer. It's designed to just talk to you about, just get you interested in the movie. It might give some plot point away, but it doesn't give the major stuff away. Why am I doing that? Because if I did that, if I told you everything that I wanted to say about this, about the episode, why would you want to come back for when we actually get to it? Now you say, that's a long way away. We'll never, no one will remember it. I will. And I wouldn't be shocked if others do. All right, so let's get this started. First episode on our list, actually we'll talk about the two-parter, or it's 2. The Crystal Empires. What did you guys think about that? Oh, God, no, Mr. Ben. I forget one too many things. But there are some things that are always stuck in my head. It's always the bad stuff. Anyway. Yeah, Twilight, I was just going to bring that up. The thing is I am seeing a few more people understand this, but the thing you have to understand about Sombra, folks, is he is exactly like Sauron. He is what's known as an atmospheric villain. He's not designed to be up front like Discord or Darth Vader or what's another one I can think of? Apollo from Rocky, the like. They're not supposed to be up front. Atmospheric villains like Sauron and Sombra are supposed to give an atmospheric feel to them. In this case, we'll use Sombra. He's sitting outside the gates, and the only thing that's preventing him from entering is Cadence and the Crystal Heart. So, what do I mean by this making... How do I want to put this? This is what makes him effective as a villain, is all throughout the episode you're thinking they're sitting, Sombra's out the gates, Sombra's at the gates. I did. When I was watching this, that's all I could think of was, so when does Sombra enter? Because you know he's going to. Especially given Cadence is weakened. Or she's showing signs of fatigue. You'd be surprised, Needs Pony. Come back and you'll see what I mean. But anyway, as I was saying, Sombra is this atmospheric villain. And like I said, a lot of people have seen that, and I am glad that they are They are. Do I think he was the best villain this show's ever produced? No. I will say that he is probably the weakest villain thus far. However, given that ending that we got with him, I would be willing to bet that this is not the last we see of him. Ergo, you can expect more character development out of him. So overall, what I do want to say is, as an atmospheric villain, yeah, he worked. Like I said, all throughout it, I was thinking, he's outside, he's outside, he's outside. But as a character, yeah, he did need work. And I think this falls under the case of trying to cram 2 hours worth of material into one. But we'll get there when we get there. Any last thoughts on this episode, or these two episodes? The wife toss. We'll talk about that when we get there, even though that's such a small point. All right, too many Pinkie Pies. What do you guys have to say about this one? I should have guessed. Really, Mr. Ben? I am curious how so. Yeah, I am curious how so. Well, to be fair, J.E. Smith, I kind of incited it. There's something do I want to bring this one up? Okay, I will say what I think about it in this respect, but I will not elaborate on it for the aforementioned trailer thing. To me, and I know you're going to make an argument about this, or at least you're going to tell me there's another episode out there that you could call, but to me, this episode, Too Many Pinkie Pies, to me, this is Too Many Pinkie Pies is to Pinkie Pie the character, is to Twilight Sparkle what Lesson Zero is. I want you guys to kind of sit on that for a minute. And yeah, people are kind of liking the people do like this episode a lot. Yeah, it is one of my favorites too. Yep, and there it is, Rainbow Ash. But we'll get to discussing why I think that when we get to both Party of One and Too Many Pinkie Pies. I will, yeah, when I was kind of thinking about that line, you know, I said this is to Pinkie Pie fans what Lesson Zero is to Twilight Sparkle fans, and I'm thinking, sort of. At first I didn't think so. I thought, you know, Too Many Pinkie Pies was that. But yeah, when I brought up Party of One in my head, I'm like, kind of. But like I said, we'll get there when we get there. What I will say about this one, though, is, yeah, this is one of my favorites for various reasons. But again, I'll keep those out of the, I will keep that out of the discussion here. So let's move on then. One Bad Apple. What do you guys think about that? Take care, Architect. Yeah, in my humble opinion, it's this this episode is one of the better ones. It's not my personal favorite of season 3. We'll get there when we get there. One bad seed. We're talking about one bad seed now, folks. I love Babs Seed myself, especially when I kept sitting on why I like her, but I'm going to save that for when we get there. What I will say is that when I realized what she was, it was jarring. Yeah, the A-team seed. Something I do want to bring up, folks, is that, well, no, I'm not here to bash people. I'm sorry. Yeah, her accent is quite adorable. I do like it. I'm from Manhattan, the pony equivalent of New York, and everyone kept pointing out she has a Jersey accent. It's called development, Mr. Ben. Hey, old man, what's his name? That's actually a really good point. I like that. I like that a lot. Power leveling. And old man, I want to kind of expand upon that. I think that's what's actually really kind of neat about this episode. Now that you bring that up, there's this better hint of, yeah, it speaks significant volumes, as Mr. Ben put it here. All right, any final thoughts on... Oh, what about the song? I should note, what about the song? Yeah, this, I think, in my humble opinion, is... I want to say this one's the best one of Season 3, but I haven't sat on Season 3 long enough to make that decision. What I will say is this is a good song. Babs Seed. The song is... We're still on episode 4, folks. But, yeah. I just can't get over that silly Red Spy remix of this one. But you know what? I'm okay with that. All right. Shall we move on, folks? But the Capture Point Crusaders, we ain't looking for a fight. Alright, I think we've made our point. So, next episode, Magic Duel. What did you guys think of that? Annie Derp. Mr. Ben. This is a tie between one other episode for my favorite of season 3. I still can't decide which one is better, but this, I can't get enough of this episode for so many reasons, folks. For those of you who have been here, for those of you who are here before the move, you'll know why part of that is true. For the others, for those who haven't, A Trixie Revenge Story was about the only fanfic idea that I would have ever gone through and written. But I said that I would have actually gone through and written, not have an idea of. Not much of a fanfic writer, though. But the point I'm trying to make is it was everything that I wanted in a revenge story. And in my humble opinion, it just succeeded brilliantly. Yeah, Twilight is Magic. You make a really good point on that. Anyway, I will say one last thing about it. Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. So overall, I'll get to why I love that one when we get there. But yeah, one of the things, Twilight is Magic. Having Zecora play out the role she was originally intended, it's about time. I think we did, Mr. Ben, but that was off camera, and we'll save that. Like I said, I want to save a lot of that stuff for when we actually get there. I don't think that, and for the record, no, I don't think this was a fan service episode at all. But I'm going to tell it to you when we get there, because if I tell you, I'm going to give away a lot of stuff, and it's going to really spoil it. So I apologize for that. Anyway, so any final thoughts? Any final thoughts on Magic Duel? I'm sorry. Let's keep the name calling down, folks. Yeah, stupid sexy CJ, you bring that up. Fun fact, folks, horses, the domestic horse, I should say, the domesticated horse has its earliest originations around the Middle East Central Asian area. So to have real-looking horses from Saddle Arabia makes sense. All right, let's move along. Sleepless in Ponyville. What do you guys think of that one? Sexy CJ. Yeah, we finally get a Scootaloo episode, and I will say that it was nice that we finally got a Scootaloo episode, just like everyone else was saying. Take care, Envy. There is one little nitpick of mine that I have with this, but there's another episode that we'll be talking about why that is. However, what it's worth, I do love this episode, and I do like how the interactions, in particular between Scootaloo and Rainbow Dash at the end. That's definitely setting up for the next season, and maybe even some future episodes, plural. So we'll get there. I want to discuss setting up future episodes when we get towards the season 3 summary. However, what I will say is I do like where Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo are going. I really do. Yeah, Vordox here hitting the bullseye here. Dark Horse. Cue the SpongeBob episode. All right, let's carry on. Wonderbolt Academy. What did you guys think of that? Everyone with the Top Gun references and whatnot. This is another one of those episodes that's one of my favorites from season 3 for various reasons. What I will say about Lightning Dust, surprisingly, I like Lightning Dust for a weird reason, but it'll make sense when we get there. I gotta admit, I do like Spitfire's voice from Best Night Ever. However, this one does at least make sense with being that this is a training ground. A more gruff, angry voice it makes sense. Yeah, Ghosties, I'm with you on that one for that very reason. Old man, what's his name? That's about it. Twilight is magic. I acknowledge your comment there about lightning dust. Mr. Ben. I was going to say, if we went FMJ, good lord. They might as well bring Arlie Ermy onto the voice acting section and have him to start. You little sack of shit. You scumbag. I have your name. I have your ass. Good lord, he made that scene work. He really did. I have your name. I have your ass. You will not laugh. You will not cry. You will learn by the numbers. I will teach you. Good stuff. Final thoughts on Wonderbolt Academy, folks? Okay. This is just, the final thoughts are just more, did I miss anything, or do you have something last minute thing to say about it? To be honest, Twilight is Magic, I think Pinkie Pie was, as a secondary character, I think she was dead on there, and it worked. There's an episode down the road we'll get to where I do not think it works. However, in this case, I feel she worked, but that's just me. All right, let's move on then. Apple Family Reunion. What'd y'all think of this? Should have seen that coming. I will say this. This is definitely a musical episode. Definitely, without a doubt. To be honest, Mr. Ben, I'm not. But I'm okay with that, to be honest with you, for various reasons. All right, Ghosties, you want to keep addressing that? We'll address it. Yes, baby AJ was without a doubt the cutest, one of the cutest things this show has ever produced. There's no doubt about that. I remember first watching this episode on Brony State, and not only did I just kind of do this, but I saw the chat just fall over with me. Yeah, okay, I'll address it. Yeah, this is the episode where we get confirmation that AJ's parents are not going to be shown on the show. Except maybe in a flashback, but I doubt it. Why don't... no, she wouldn't be adopted. There, I do have a bit of a hypothesis on that, but we'll get there when we get there. That's a good point, Twilight is Magic. Dark 92 Enigma. That's a little too dark there, Mr. Ben. All right. Moving on. Keep calm and flutter on, also known as Fluttershy's house for reformed Draconiqui. I know they should have used that one, but yeah, they gave a reason that it would have spoiled a lot of things, and can't say I blame them. You remember how I said I was there was another episode in this season that was tied for my favorites? This is the one, the other one. There is so much, just like Magic Duel, that I love about this episode. And I will state this, folks. I do not think that ending was rushed. At all. As a matter of fact, I think that ending was perfect. Why? I'll say that for when we get there, but not for 1 minute do I feel that this ending is rushed. One of the things that I do, you guys can think that, I don't care, but I'm just going to say that, no, this is not a rushed ending. And yeah, as you can see, Twi is Magic agrees with me. Why do I bring that up? It's a small minority. That's what I'm getting at. But anyway, one thing I do want to say is just Discord is back. And I love it. I'll get to a little bit more specific again when we get there, but one of the things that I like is there's now new potential. A lot of new potential. And I am so looking forward to that. Smith. I haven't seen any of that. It's a potential. I don't know if I really buy it though, due to the ending that we were given. We'll see when we get there, I guess. We'll save that kind of talk when we get there, Sumika. Obviously, of course, people have mixed opinions on this, and that's completely fine. Overall, though, like I said, I can't get enough of this episode. I love it, and I can't. When we get there, folks, I'm going to bet good money that we're going to be taking 2 episodes to discuss this. Heck, I even think we're going to be taking 2 episodes to discuss the season 2 opener. That's the kind of power that Discord brings when we talk about him. Heck, for those of you who were here a long time ago, check out episode 6 of Babble with Bronies. We dedicated an entire episode to him, and that was all the way back before season 2 even ended, for crying out loud. So we at the time, we didn't know Discord was going to be coming back. We thought he was said and dead. But when we get to those episodes, you can expect a lot of conversation. A lot. Probably going to be something like this, where we'll spend the whole second hour talking about them. So, like I said, I'm all over for it. And Sumika, that's your opinion. You can still like the episode and have problems with it. And that's fine. I'm not calling you out here at all. Okay, Candiero. But like I said, I'm just trying to give you an idea of how long ago episode 6 was. Heck, for for Pete's sake, this is episode 38, for crying out loud. So 32 episodes later. But you get my point. Like I said, we'll get there when we get there about Discord's character development about this. And I will say this, folks, when we get to season 2, the season 2 review, just kind of a spoilers thing here, we're going to ignore this episode unless we absolutely have to. So, but that's at minimum 10 weeks away. And I don't think it's going to be exactly 10 weeks until we get there. Even if you ignore any and all breaks, I'm talking interviews and other special things I'm going to be doing. Anyway, final thoughts on Keep Calm and Flutter On. Evil gravy boat. Oh, thank you, Twilight is Magic. Yes, seeing Angel get swatted around by Discord, whoever thought of that, you deserve that. Because, yeah, as you put it, Twilight is Magic, it's about time. How do you like them carrots? All right. Spike at your service. What do y'all think of this one? I'll just state right now, right off the bat, that yes, I do think this is the worst episode of Season 3. But do I think it is the worst episode of the entire series? No, I do not. There are glaring problems in this one. A lot of glaring... Well, there are 2 major glaring problems I have with this episode. I'm going to save one of them for when we get there. But yeah, people are pointing out Spike's clumsy and all that. Yeah, that did hurt this episode for me, because never before have we been given the notion that Spike is a klutz. And then this episode, as a matter of fact, the opposite is usually given. I refer you to Baby Cakes when he's sitting on a stool, or standing on a stool on one leg, balancing all those reports. And he did not fall over. Evidence like that, again, suggests to the contrary of what this episode gave. But one of the things that I do feel that does save it are the gags, especially towards the end. I'll wear this mustache. Yeah, Mr. Ben, that's a thing too. Oh my gosh. Twilight is magic? I never thought of that. That changes some things up. I actually do kind of find that dragon card of his cute. I will say this. Something like that, Spike making a code of honor of some sort, I do think he would make something like that. Why? That kind of does. I don't want to say it's out of character, but I don't want to say, or it's not completely out there. Again, the aforementioned Klutz thing, Spike making a code of honor of some sort, that sounds close enough to him. We'll get to Pee Wee when we get there. But anyways, I was saying the whole Dragon Code thing. Like I said, I buy it, and I think it's kind of cute. It's a nice little character quip or trait to yeah, something like that. It would be a play off of season 2, episode 21. That he's not trying to be the asses that he saw in that episode. But oh, good God, Nittany! I can see the link, and it burns my eyes already. But I'm not going to open it. Anyway, as I was saying, he would make that code because of what previously happened in season 2, episode 21. And if anything, I think it's just a cute character trait of his. That might be Candiero. That might. Okay, Rainbow Ash. That's not a bad That's not a bad idea either. We'll discuss dragons when we get to season 2, episode 21. There's going to be a lot we're going to talk about them with them there, but we'll get there when we get there. However, Rainbow Ash, what you're bringing up, those are some good points. Or even if they have them in the first place, Twilight is magic. Okay, any other things about Spike at your service before we move on, folks? See, this is why I encourage open discussion, because sometimes I can be left going, you make a good point, and I can maybe leave you going, hey, he makes a good point. Asshole codes. Again, Candura, we'll get there when we get there. All right, let's move on here. So, just for sidekicks, what'd y'all think of that? Angel. It's just for sidekicks, the pet episode, folks. In my humble opinion, I saw a lot of people actually really like this episode. And I do have to agree with them. I do like this episode. Not as much as the others, but what I think really works with this episode is no one expected this one to be good. We just expected it to be baby cakes with pets. And instead, it creates an entirely unique story that has a great moral to it, or a great lesson, I will say. And it's overall, I just love how it was played. Because when we got to the ending and I realized what it was like, that was a really good episode. Twilight is magic. Yeah, we'll get there when we get there, Ryunosuke, which is the next episode. Twilight is magic. Yeah, that was pretty darn cute. Final thoughts on Just for Sidekicks? We'll talk about the multiple perspective portions on these next two episodes, Games Ponies Play and Just for Sidekicks, when we get done with Games Ponies Play. So just for now, just focus on Just for Sidekicks. Yeah, Alchemist, I do have to agree with you on that one. Vordox, if you notice, he's constantly giving stuff away. He never really hoards anything. Mr. Ben. All right, let's move on. Games Ponies Play. Now, I want you to focus just on, as I said earlier, just focus on the episode itself. You know, ignore the continuity pieces of it. Best new main side character. Huh? Yeah, I do think this one isn't a great episode, or at least it's not strong, but I do like this episode a lot. The reason I will say this, I think this one is being the penultimate episode. If anyone has ever seen a series, what usually happens during the penultimate episode, the last episode before the finale? It's usually something reflective, something preparing them for the final fight, or it's usually something really silly. This would be the in this case it would be really silly. Why? Why do penultimate episodes do this? Because they know if they can do it now, because are you going to leave before the finale? Probably not. And in that respect, that's partially why I like it. It's just good silliness, and I'm fine with that. One of the things that I really liked about this episode was that we saw both Cadence and Shining Armor, and they were not, I'm going to say it again, not fighting off Sombra, Chrysalis, or some other baddie that was going to bring about the destruction of some piece of Equestria. I like that. There's some other things that I will say about them when we get to them, and this episode in particular, but for now, that's all I want to tell you about them. Rainbow Ash. I can't remember the other fear that Ms. Peachbottom. I think the canon is still it's Ms. Peachbottom, but I don't think it's a fear of small areas in so much as it's a fear of high ceilings, arcing ceilings. Trust me, there is a fear of that. So being outside is where she that's why she hates being inside the Crystal Palace, and that's why she runs out, where there is no arcing ceiling. Because, those arcing ceilings will fall on you. Yeah, something that people are pointing out here, we see Rainbow Dash's dad. I'm going to accept that as Rainbow Dash's dad myself. Some people have said bigger brother, or maybe it was just some random stranger. I don't. I think it's father myself. Yeah. Yeah, Twilight's Magic, that is true. Spade Kiorum, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. That doesn't surprise me. Something I will bring up about... darn it, I had a thought and I was going to talk about this one. Oh, the ending. Not the tie-in with the previous episode, the resolution towards the end. There's a reason I actually kind of enjoy that ending, but we'll get there when we get to another episode. It's all the way in season 1. Probably know which one I'm going to be referring to if you've seen it. But anyway, we'll talk about the ending when we get there. All I will say is I don't hate the ending. Anyway, okay, so now we can talk about the tie-in between the two episodes. I think it was pretty darn good. I don't think they were, trying to go for something deep, intertwined, and intricate. I think they were just going for an experiment. They were just trying to experiment on using these that different perspective story to. This was just an experiment, basically. I agree, Twilight is Magic. That's what I'm hoping for, is that eventually they do more tie-ins like this. Heck, you know what I would love to see? A subtle tie-in, wherein they hint at it, wherein they would hint at something or just talk about it. Maybe it would be just noticeable for about a second or two. And then you go, what was that? Think Back to the Future and Back to the Future 2 is what I'm referring to here. Where in Back to the Future 1, it was J.E. Smith. I'll get back to that in a second here. Where in Back to the Future 1, you'll see weird, oddball things like the guys behind stage when they fell over. And then, of course, we get that answer resolved in Back to the Future 2, wherein we see... So that's what happened. That's what I'm hoping they do in future episodes. That would be so awesome. J.E. Smith. Yeah, I did see that. I was... Funniest place. I was on Toxic Mario's art stream. That's where they showed it. Or that's where he showed it. Final thoughts on Just for Sidekicks and Games Ponies Play? All right, let's move on. And now we get to the part. Now we get to the finale. So, go nuts, folks. I'm going to finish up my water here. Ghosties, you bring up a good point because, yeah, that intro, I felt about as surreal could get in that intro. I think that played out perfectly myself. I'm not going to say too much about the episode in so much as what I want to say about what happened before the episode. Before the episode. Well, there are various reasons people were saying, they were already. Sorry, lunch is trying to come up. Actually, I was kind of wondering how you felt about that, Mr. Ben. Now, it would be over here if I did that. I wouldn't say that, Spade Kira. I would say that, given Rarity's never worked on the weather, AJ's rarely, if ever, worked in the sewing industry, and so on and so forth, that I have a hypothesis on why part of this is, but we'll get there when we get there. The point I will make, though, is that given their lack of experience, something like that would happen. But anyway, as I was saying, there's something I want to bring up to everyone here while we're here. Like I said, I want to talk mostly about how everyone before the episode aired was crying foul, saying this is the end of the season series, how it's end of the world, panic, panic to the bomb shelter, cue the Batman segue. I have a personal question for everyone. Does anyone know what Twilight Sparkle's end is? Let me give you an example of what I mean by this. Rainbow Dash's end is to become a Wonderbolt. That's what Lauren Faust has been. That's what a lot of people know. That's what Faust has said. So I ask again, what is Twilight Sparkle's end? Dark 92 Enigma and Twilight is Magic, you're both hitting the head on the nail. And in case you're thinking we're all blowing smoke out our ass, this following little video is is from the Brony Doc extended interviews trailer. Listen up.
I wanted Twilight Sparkle to eventually become Celestia's successor. I wanted.
Play that again.
wanted Rainbow Dash to become a Wonderbolt. I wanted Twilight Sparkle to eventually become Celestia's successor. I wanted the Cutie Mark Crusaders all to get their cutie marks.
So I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions here. One, given that Twilight Sparkle was to become, given that information, I ask you a question. Ignore the season finale for a minute, and ignore the video I just posted. Pretend that the season 3 finale did not happen. I don't care what they put in there, whether they put in another episode or they didn't, I don't know nor really care. I ask you again, what is Twilight Sparkle's end? And also ignore the Alicorn transformation. Catchy. The point I want to make is the point I'm okay. Okay. I'm reading Nittany's question here. The point I'm trying to make is I think the Alicorn transformation is not significant in and of itself in the sense of the transformation itself. It's more just a status symbol. That's what I'm trying to hint at. I'd be willing to bet good money that if you ignore the transformation itself, the end is still the same. That Twilight was to become Celestia's successor, regardless of becoming an Alicorn or not. So then, what I'm getting at here is, I don't know if people were mad at the Alicorn transformation just because of the transformation per se, or there was some other reason. So the more I think about it, I'm a little bit more confused. Are they mad at the transformation, or is there something else that people are not tickled with when it comes to what we got in the season 3 finale? Ghosties, I'd be willing to bet good money that they'll show that, or they'll expand upon that when we get to season 4. Heck, if you remember Megan McCarthy's tweet, she said something akin to, this episode was part 1 of 3. So that's my take on it. Spy Jen, I think you're hitting it on the mark there. And yet, we've been constantly told that that's not the end of it. Shizu, yeah. Can't answer that, ghosties. All I will say is I think we'll know more when season 3 gets here. 3, 4. I think at this point, like I said, all we're doing at this point is just speculating on the future of things. But all I will say is, in terms of the transformation, I don't think a significant thing has changed. The thing I will say, and I give the show credit for this, they're actually progressing the story. Twilight is magic. I see what you did there. But as I said, this is just a progression of the story. And believe it or not, one day the show will end. And if you're like me, as much as that idea sucks, I want it to end, to actually end. Whether that be season 4, season 5, 6, 7, wherever, I don't care. But to end, to have a conclusion is what I want more than anything. Shizu, again, hitting the nail on the head. Take care, old man. All right, we're going a little bit over time here, so I'll try and wrap this up. I think so, Metronome. Kind of one of those hero worship things, but the thing is that to disappoint anything Celestia wants would be what was I? But if Celestia wants it, Twilight will do it. If you ever have someone you look up to, you'll know what I mean. All these existential questions and other philosophical ones. So overall, season 3, what do you guys think? As in the entire season. Personally, I loved this season for a number of reasons. And one of the things that I like is the aforementioned story progression. In this season, Toxic Mario described it perfectly. It's a bridging season. It's going from 1 and 2 and carrying us into season 4. It sets up a lot of things like Discord or Scoot and Rainbow. It's setting these up and then bringing it into the 4th season. And the stories they told, like I said, if I haven't made it clear that I love some of these episodes, let me make it perfectly clear right now. Some of these episodes were nothing short of fantastic. Sumika, that is true. That it would be kind of awkward if they didn't have a season 4 to go into, but yeah, I know what you meant. Take care, Mr. Ben. So overall, do I think this is the best season thus far? Yeah, I do. That's just fine, Nittany. That's just fine by me. What's funny is what I find funny is that despite it only being 13 episodes long, I'm still calling it the best season. Whatever. That's fine by me. Yeah, people are talking about Derpy in the finale. Yeah, that was nice. Everyone was kind of, and I was one of them. Don't worry, a little up in arms about Derpy being all but AWOL from this season, and here she is sneaking around about 3 or 4 times throughout the episode, and it's like, yeah, awesome. I'll catch you, troll. That's a valid point, Alchemist. I don't think so, Rainbow Ash. It might be, but I don't think so. What other... There's something I wanted to note. We'll get to Equestria Girls one of these days. Probably when it's aired and we can talk, actually talk about it. Much like Magical Mystery Cure here, folks, I'm not going to talk about something that hasn't passed yet. So, I don't want to talk about it. Twilight, no, I can't get that deep. I really can't. I've tried. Here's the thing, Rainbow Ash. Here's the thing about the comics. This is going to sound really weird, but here's the thing about when it comes to merchandise. The thing about this show is it's relatively free. You can go onto YouTube or here, Brony State, or if you have the hub on your TV, you can watch it for, again, free. But not everyone has access to the comics, let alone wants to buy them. And I'm not going to talk about something that is a, for lack of better terms, microscopic market. I'm not going to expect you, I never expect anyone to go out and buy the merchandise so that we can talk about it. They might be fantastic. And they certainly are worth talking about. But like I said, I don't want you guys to go out and buy them just for the sake of understanding the content, because I'm not going to buy the comics, or at least not right now, because I have no money. And even if we get way far down the road, I mean, we're talking beyond Season 3 discussions, I still won't for that very reason. So I apologize that we're never going to get to the comics, but that's the reason I don't get to. If you have to buy it, or especially if you have to take time out of your... This is also kind of why I'm not tickled about talking about specific fanfic things, because this means that you have to take time out of your schedule to go read them. Now you say, you're trying to say, but we have to take time out of our schedule to watch the episodes. Again, that's a little bit easier to do than fan fiction, especially long fan fiction. I appreciate that you guys want to talk about the comics and stuff like that. That's great. But the problem is it's just a time thing that, if I say, okay, we'll discuss My Little Dashie 2 weeks from now. some of you might not have gotten the memo, and as such, your TPS reports are going to be a little off, metaphorically speaking. But the point is I don't expect you to go and read this stuff, so that when we actually get there, you'll go, "What are we talking about?" We're talking about My Little Dashie. Then you'll go, "I never read that." Well, didn't you get the memo? No, I don't read fanfic. Kind of exclusive, if you ask me, and I can't say I'm a fan of that. Maybe far in the future, I might set aside something like this so that you have to have read it to get it. Maybe. Maybe. But don't hold your breath on that. I will say that. But that's the reason I don't want to... I probably will not have an episode concerning the comics and or fanfic, is for those aforementioned reasons. Smith, again, it's kind of one of those, I would then have to expect you to have seen that video, in which case someone, like say an artist who, like take Muffinshire for instance, I don't know if he's here or not and I had to pick on him, but, or even Noben, who was here earlier, she would drop in to not know what we're doing, and if she were to have stayed, then she would have been really confused, which is not fair to her. So again, maybe one day or maybe on an off day, like I said, I have this midweek episode coming up, if I can get it, maybe I'll do something like that. However, I still just don't like the idea of people having to buy anything or have to have read or seen something previously in order to have to be on the show. All right, I'm going way over time here, folks. Any final thoughts about season... Oh, wait, no, we already did that. Any final thoughts about anything before I wrap this up? That'll work, ghosties. Yeah. See, this is the like I said, this is old school stuff. Just talking with you guys, and I want to bring it back for a couple episodes or two before we get to season 2 because I love this stuff. I love just chatting with people about stuff like this. But of course, I can understand why people wouldn't want to. So, yes. Next episode, like I said, we plan on. I don't know if we do that midweek episode. I don't know what we're going to do there. I don't think we're going to be watching an episode, and I don't know if we're going to be watching an episode or not because I really do not want to screw up this episode. For those of you who don't know, this is my favorite episode of season 1, and I really don't want technical issues getting in the way of it. And that's assuming we even have a midweek episode. So, again, go figure. But we'll get there when we get there. So, I'll wrap this up. Next week, on Sunday, there will be no episode. So, on the 10th, no episode. I'll try and find a midweek replacement during that week. I'm hoping on Wednesday or Thursday. Or Friday before movie night. But, again, cross that bridge when we get there. The 17th, for sure, there will be no Babble with Bronies because I'll be traveling that day. And the week after that, the 24th, we're hoping to get an interview in. The 31st, we'll be watching the Doctor Who episode. And after that, just progress down as normally. Probably one interview in April or two. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But otherwise, that's what our schedule's looking like, folks. So, wrap this up here. For Babble with Bronies, I am Everlasting Joy, and my cohorts, Mr. Ben and Twilight is Magic. We want to thank you for stopping by and taking the time to talk with us. Hopefully we'll get to Season 1, Episode 19 one of these days. In the meantime, take care.